Meghan was enjoying a leisurely morning at home with one-year-old Lilibet. As the little girl played with her toys on the living room floor, Meghan scrolled through photos on her phone, smiling at all the special moments they had shared together over the past year. Suddenly, Meghan's phone started ringing. She saw it was their lawyer calling and figured it must be an update on one of their ongoing cases. But when she answered, the news the lawyer delivered sent Meghan into a state of panic and distress. She explained that Lilibet's biological parents, who had given her up for adoption shortly after birth, had somehow tracked down the couple and were now trying to get custody of their daughter back. Meghan was stunned, finding it impossible to believe after raising Lilibet as their own for over 12 months. As any parent would, Meghan's first instinct was to protect her child. A million thoughts raced through her mind. How did they even find Lilibet? Why were they doing this now? What impact would it have on Lilibet's well-being and sense of security? Meghan knew she had to stay strong, but inside, she felt terrified at the prospect of losing her precious daughter. With Lilibet still happily playing nearby, unaware of the potential storm brewing, Meghan did her best to maintain composure on the phone. She focused on gathering details from the lawyer about the next steps they would take to defend their family. Once off the call, Meghan broke down in tears, clinging to a stuffed animal Lilibet had recently outgrown. When Harry returned from an outdoor meeting with their team, Meghan was still distraught. Between sobs, she managed to explain the shocking situation to her worried husband. Harry moved quickly to console Meghan with a comforting embrace. As a father himself, the news shook him deeply, but he knew he had to be the strong one in that moment for both his girls. In his head, Harry began strategizing the best defense. He knew they would need an aggressive legal and PR approach to sway public opinion to their side. The pressure of a high-profile custody battle loomed, but Harry was determined to do whatever it took to protect his little family. Over the following days, Meghan did her best to keep up appearances for Lilibet's sake, but inside she was a bundle of nerves. While Harry handled initiating their legal response, Meghan turned to family and friends for much-needed support and reassurance. Though the adoption had always been considered closed and final, the threat of losing Lilibet after such a profound bond had formed left Meghan feeling anxious and overwhelmed. When their official statement was finally drafted and shared publicly, the outpouring of worldwide support it received helped lift Meghan's spirits immensely. She took comfort knowing so many people understood how deep her maternal instincts ran and sympathized with her maternal instinct to fight like a lioness for her cub. As the custody battle unfolded, Meghan focused on making treasured memories with Lilibet each day, unsure of what the future may hold. With Harry tirelessly working behind the scenes and an army of supporters backing them, Meghan found renewed strength, determined not to lose hope that their family would remain intact. For now, all they could do was stay united and let the legal process run its course, praying it would end with Lilibet right where she belonged, at home with her loving parents. Here's a continuation of the story. The release of Harry and Meghan's statement achieved its goal of generating widespread sympathy and rallying public support behind them. On social media, people from all walks of life expressed outrage at the idea of disrupting Lilibet's stable family life. Still, Meghan knew this was just the beginning. Behind closed doors, the legal wrangling would get messy as they battled in family court against Lilibet's biological parents' claims. During scheduled mediation sessions, tensions ran high on both sides. Greg and Veronica remained convinced they could now provide a better home. They argued Meghan and Harry's celebrity status itself could harm Lilibet's well-being and right to a normal upbringing. Meanwhile, the Duke and Duchess maintained that as devoted parents for over a year, uprooting Lilibet was not in her best interests. Weeks of court filings, evaluations, and testimony took their toll, especially on Meghan. Though trying to stay strong for her family, the strain started showing. Her worries grew over the complex factors a judge would consider, from biology to bonding, unsure which way the decision could go. As the trial date neared, Meghan doubled down on creating cherished mother-daughter moments and leaning on Harry for comfort amid sleepless nights. Behind the scenes, their lawyers worked tirelessly crafting the strongest possible case. On the day of the final hearing, Meghan felt sick to her stomach with dread over their uncertain future. But with Harry and a wall of supporters by her side, She strode into court ready to fight for the child who owned her heart.